welcome to the final episode of our 2021 wrap up series where we break down the year that was and talk about all the shit that got us through 2021. I'm Eddie.
And I'm Tammy.
So Tammy, are you ready to talk about all the shit that got you through this clusterfuck of a year?
Is every year now going to be a clusterfuck? Is that what we're
Well,
saying?
I officially titled this one Shit That Got Us Through 2021, the Year of Deja Vu.
Deja poo?
Deja Vu.
That seems very weird, but okay.
You know, deja vu. Instead of deja vu, it was a year of deja vu.
I hear the cleverness.
Yeah. But yeah, clusterfuck, shit show, take your pick. Is yeah, yeah. So I guess we should start off on a good note. And I intend for this to
We're gonna
be
have to end on a good note as well, because for some reason we're always ending on a very, very poor and sad note. Okay, so we're gonna have to bring it back to some good stuff at the end. Okay.
I know. That's why I was like, yeah, we're gonna space it out so we don't have a palate cleanser. We won't hopefully
Well, this
need.
is supposed to be shit that got us through. So I feel like
Yeah,
this is all supposed to be a palate cleanser. Like, we're not supposed to be talking about like the negative shit. Because I mean, this is what got us through this year.
yeah. So, what was there anything that was something that surprised you most about this year?
Surprised me most?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. I would say one of the things that surprised me the most was, and I know y'all, but let's get this out of the way right now, okay? So one of the things that really, really did surprise me, and I'm honestly saying it surprised me, was how amazing of a year BTS had. I was very, very surprised on the increase in popularity of this year, which just goes from last year when we talked about it and how quarantine, and this sounds very, it sounds a little bad, but I don't mean it in a negative way. But like, people going into quarantine definitely opened the door for BTS to gain more fans and to be more in front of people than I think they would have been if we didn't have like the pandemic shut down the whole world for a while.
I agree with that, and I think we talked about that last year. I'm going to say my BTS, but I agree with you. I have them as one of the things that got me through too, but that's not the most surprising thing to me. Um, so I'm get this out of the way. The most surprising thing to me is actually something that was negative. Um, in the sense of it surprised me about how fucking hard this year has been all the way around. You would think after having a year of pandemic living under our belts, that it would have gotten easier, but in a lot of ways, it was harder, especially when it came to like work and the day job. Like we went back to work full time last year. We did. But for some reason this year, it seems like we're working harder, like a lot harder. And this isn't a brand new job. It's a job that we've had for a while. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that surprised me, and just the level of burnout from that. Um, that was really, really surprising. Um, so I was just like, okay, I'm already over it. So I was just like, oh yeah, I'm just trying to wrap my head around that mentally and hopefully get back to it in a better place after the holidays. So also what surprised me is I had said from the beginning that it would probably be 2 years before life returned back to normal. I was saying by 2022 we should be returning back to a normal. But nah, dog, we digging deeper in the shit. Like the shithole just keeps getting deeper. Like I have no idea when this is going to be over. Like this is the new normal. Finding a way to live with this shit is the new normal, especially if people won't take it seriously and do take the precautions that they're supposed to take, that they should take to make sure that we all live in a healthier place. And that's all I'm going to say about that. What?
I don't know. Like, while you were talking, before you actually said it yourself, I was just like, no, this is our new normal. Like, this is how our life is going to be from here on out. Like, um, whether you do or not, like, I feel, I want to say for at least the next 5 years, I'm going to be wearing masks on and off. Um, because you just don't know. And you last year we got to see the real character of some people, and I think this year just revealed more people's character, and the trust that you can't have in people that you thought were on your level that are not on your level. So yes, I understand what you're saying with that.
Yeah, and as long as people keep not doing it, it keeps mutating. So, and the mutations get worse and more resistant. So, boosters and vaccines, that's going to be the new normal, um, for a while. So, yeah, just waiting for the next 6-month checkup. you
I
know,
said keep boosting me.
yeah. Let the metal stick and all of that kind of stuff. Hell, maybe if I get enough, ET will phone my ass home because I feel like I got trapped on Earth 2 or some shit. I'm
Okay,
ready to go.
wait. Did you hear in the news how NASA met with religious leaders to talk about how people would react if there were other life forms out there?
Oh shit! What they prepping us for?
Yes, and so that's so and that's gonna come a little later in I learned this in one of the podcasts that got me through 2021. But yeah, that they started to meet with theologists. That's what their title is, right? Theologists, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They started to meet with theologists, like well-known theologists in their field, to talk about what would be the reaction of Christians and religious people if it was discovered that there were other life forms out there. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So when you said the whole ET thing, I was just like, you never know, Eddie. You never know.
Well, shit. Just take me back to Earth 1, okay? Because life here on Earth 2 is fucked up, like for real, for real. And I think he didn't just create Earth, he created the whole universe. And how narcissistic of us, I guess, to assume that we are just the only ones. Um, so yeah, Earth 1, the multiverse, something like, come on now. It is, yeah, yeah. So, but is there anything you found least surprising about this year?
No. We made it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm sorry. I apologize. Go ahead.
no, I agree. I think the least surprising is, I can't think of another word, the whitewash of January 6th and everything else that's going on, politically, in the way it's being covered or not being covered by certain outlets, and how not seriously people seem to be taking it. I don't know if that's me, if that's the Tammy and me, the cynicism, but so that I'm not finding surprising anymore. I think after 2016, there's very little politically that could surprise me. Um, so that's the heavy stuff. Um, what's another thing that got you through 2021? Something.
Um, okay, I'm gonna get the common stuff out of the way first,
Okay.
before I get the real interesting stuff. So the common things that got me through 2021 is the same things that got me through 2020. So if you want to hear what got us through 2020, definitely go back and listen to Shit That Got Us Through 2020, the episode. just to kind of hear that. But some of the common things that I think have just fallen into 2021 and will be carried over to 2022, because they're here to stay, is my love of K dramas and my love of K music, and not just K pop. So I will say that I have slowly been pulling away from K-pop boy groups and girl groups and going more solo artists. And I definitely discovered a lot of solo artists this year that I'm interested in continuing to listen to for next year. And then as well as K dramas. Like I have a subscription to a K drama website. So I feel like that's definitely here to stay. It's just the same way I used to look at movies. I can't go to the movie theater the way that I used to, just because sometimes it's very, very crowded. That's the reason why I haven't seen Spider-Man yet. I have not seen Spider-Man yet, y'all, because it's super crowded. Like shows are still being sold out for this movie, which tells me how amazing it is, but I am still not comfortable enough to be in a crowded theater. Like I've done it before and I always feel uncomfortable in crowded theaters. And so this has been my outlet, is sitting at home, shutting my brain off and just watching TV. And not only K dramas, but I've also gotten to some Spanish shows as well, and Netflix streaming services and all that. So like these things got me through last year, and I think that it's just continued and it's here to stay. Yeah, like I just want to be entertained sometimes. Like I don't want to have to think, I don't want to have to analyze, I just want to be entertained. And that's one thing that I can be every single time watching a K drama or listening to K music, is to just be entertained. And I so appreciated that this year.
I will agree. Movie, movies, music, TV. And to hear some of the K-pop, the things in the and when I say K-pop, I'm just cutting it off for Korean pop culture. Um, that check out that episode. I'll link that with the post, as well as the stuff that got us, or the shit that got us through 2020. I'll link that too to make it easy. But I've come to the point, and I think I said this before, maybe in our K-pop wrap up, or K culture wrap up, um, that it hasn't become a separate genre to me. It's just music I listen to like anything else. I don't have a separate K-pop playlist anymore. And when I say K-pop, I'm just talking about all of the music, because aside from BTS, Monsta X, and a few bands that I liked before, I've never really been into the whole boy band girl group thing. I kind of always veered more towards the soloist. And once I got into the music, I was like, okay, what else is out there? Because I've never just really honed in on boy bands a lot, or groups like that, boy groups, girl groups, whatever. So but it and the same thing with K dramas. They've just now become another part of my entertainment. Like I don't specify um, as much. If it looks good, it looks like something I'm into, then I'll watch it. And I just added a lot more. And I said that, especially now since Netflix is starting to dub them. That was my thing about not watching a lot of them, is because you actually have to read the subtitles, and I still do. I do the dubs with the subtitles, so it makes it a little easier, because I'm always trying to multitask and all of that. But yeah, definitely. And that's one of the things I want to get into more in 2022, is watch more, because I really do like a lot of them, except for the ones that remind me of Lifetime movies or Hallmark movies. They don't have too many serial killer ones, because Lifetime is now all about serial killers. But I also read a lot more this year, and started a couple of book clubs. I seem to be the only one that continues on with them. So but that's okay. I'm still going to keep up my reading. I love to read. Um, and I will get into it, since I talked about it with K-pop. BTS. I seem to have fallen more in love with BTS this year. Um, as far as it's leveled out, but In the Soup 2 and Run BTS were two of my big guilty pleasures for 2021. And I'm with you. The year that they had off of just three songs, like they didn't release an album last year. or this year. They just had their 3 songs. They didn't do as many concerts this year as they did last year. Um, they have their live show, but they have seemed to become more popular. So they had an amazing, amazing year, and I look forward to what's to come from not only BTS but some of my other favorites. Monster X had a phenomenal year. So just that whole genre of music and Korean pop culture is one of the things that continue to get me through. And like I said, it's here to stay. It's not something that for me is not a trend or a fad or a flash in the pan. I genuinely like it. I like the music. I like the movies. I like the TV shows. So I am looking forward to growth in that area. Also discovered some new people, some new artists. So I am, and I'm counting down the days till some of my favorites get out of the military. Bacon. I need me some bacon. I'm just saying. Um, yeah. So, oh yeah, and General Hospital, of course. You just not going to say nothing about my beloved General Hospital.
You told me no slander.
You know you like General Hospital.
You told
Don't let
First of
don't
all,
let her don't let
first
her
of all,
fool don't let her fool you. Sometimes she'll say, "Catch me up on General Hospital," and
I will. I will.
I
But
give
the
her the
fact
whole
that we
rundown.
love the completely two different groups of characters on General Hospital. So it's like when you're talking about the love of General Hospital, I'm just going to let you talk because if I start talking, then there's going to be some slander that comes out. And I know you don't like when I slander General Hospital. So I was just letting you flow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I had a new Jason Statham movie come out this year too. Two of them because was he in Fast and Furious 9? He was for a moment. So yeah, yeah. So that got me through. Jason Statham, General Hospital, BTS. Yeah, my guilty
Um,
pleasure.
I will say, okay, so while you have fallen more in love with BTS this year, I have fallen not so in love with BTS this year.
You
Um,
don't say. I hadn't noticed. I don't think anyone has.
okay, so what I will say is, although, unlike 2020, where I will still acknowledge that BTS and the rabbit hole that I went into with BTS and opening other doors, into the Korean culture through them, um, still definitely stands for last year. But this year, as more doors were opened and I get to learn more about Korean culture, I'm honestly not as in love, um with them. And I'll be honest and say I'm not as in love with like any necessarily like any group. Like I can acknowledge their talent. That's one thing I will say, and I'll continue to say it, is BTS had an amazing, amazing year. And I acknowledge all of their accomplishments. Like they did amazing things this year, and they should get the credit that they deserve. And they deserve all the credit for everything they've done. But yeah, I'll be honest and say that BTS is not one of the groups that got me through 2021. When I talk about K music, they're not on the list this year at all. Then again, they only put out 3 songs,
Yeah.
and
And
one of them sucked.
yeah, one was not the best. Were my favorite, but I I agree. I think like just I have fallen more in love with BTS. I haven't gone down a rabbit hole, but I appreciate them more. Like I watched more. Like I watched In the Soup, and and I watched Run BTS. Like I said, they were my guilty pleasure. So I my love of BTS is the same. It's grown. I watched their concerts and stuff like that. So I'm a huge fan of BTS, and probably will remain. They're like my Korean version of New Edition. I will always have love for BTS and New Edition, and that was also one of the things that got me through this year. The official New Edition reunion, all 6 members. next year, hopefully, if the world is still here and Rona hasn't mutated into something that's just like, you know, I have no idea. I'm not even putting that out there, but I would love to go see them on tour and in their Vegas just for the nostalgia of it all. Because the Battle of Boston on the AMAs was like everything. It was like one of the best. It was the best part of the AMAs to me. Just kind of take you back to all of that. So, and I
I've seen
guess
them perform.
I I have, but it was such a long time ago. But I think that I didn't bring it up, but when you asked me on when we talked about it on the goblets, we talked about you asked performances, and I said there was none that really stood out to me. I take that back. There were two. I really did like the BTS Unplugged. I know you weren't particularly a great fan of it, but I did like the BTS Unplugged. And I love the Battle of Boston from the AMA. So those are probably like the two live perform. Even though Unplugged wasn't necessarily live, those are the two performances that stood out to me this year. So I backtrack on that. But yeah. So what else got you through this shit show of a year?
So one thing that got me through is, and this is kind of an extension, because of the fact that we do our own podcast, Popcorn Wind Down. I started to get into listening to podcasts, just to kind of see how everybody else does with theirs. And there was three podcasts that really I stuck with for the whole year. I still am enjoying. I anticipate their new episodes every single week. And that is Higher Learning with Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay. Love it. I love their dynamic. It's really, really good because they didn't know each other before they actually started doing the podcast. Like, they weren't friends. They weren't really cool with each other. They were just put together to do a podcast, and it just happened. They just happened to flow together. Next one is Jamil Hill is Unbothered.
Love it.
Really,
Love it.
really, really good. Like, I love all the parts. Now, granted, when it comes to the interviews, I'm just not a fan of interviews, period. Like, that's just not my thing. But her word of the week, um, her ending segment, fuck it, I'm bothered. Her mid segment that she has in between her interviews, some of the people that she has interviewed, I just think that she's doing a phenomenal job on her podcast. I suggest, if you have not ever listened to it, please listen to Jamil Hill is Unbothered. Really, really great. And then the next one is called the Pilot Podcast. And this is where they actually only watch the pilot of new shows coming out, and then they give you the commentary and they let you know if it is good enough for you to continue watching it or if you should just drop it. And so I love that whole concept. So that is one thing that got me through, was listening to my podcast, which I still do. And even like listening to Spotify, like, I have so much music that I listen to, so many genres and so many languages. Like, I started listening to Swedish music. Why? Because of the Young Royals. so like so you got suggestions that come up and everything like that. But yeah, so Spotify podcast, definitely one thing that got me through 2021. What about you? What's something else that got you through 2021?
Um, Speaking of podcasts, being creative, listening to different podcasts. Um, the only one that I really listen to on a regular is Jamel Hill. I'll go back and look at and listen to others, some that are recommended. But I when it's kind of like for me, I can multitask if I'm concentrated. Like if there's a conversation, and you know this from experience, people come in and they'll start talking to me, and I'm sitting here doing other things, and it annoys the hell out of people because they're like, you didn't hear a word I said, and I go back and I repeat the conversation to them verbatim. And they're like, what the
He does
and I'm like,
that.
I told you I'm listening now. My tune out game is so strong because if I don't want to hear you, or if I'm not interested in what you say, I will tune you out and you will have sat there and talk to yourself for 15 minutes. But if I tell you I'm listening to you, then I am listening to you. So and I think this is the reason why I can't really get into audiobooks, is because if I'm listening to a podcast, or I'm listening to things, that's really the only time that I don't try not to multitask, is because I will get so focused, it'll just become random background noise. And so sometimes it's hard for me, unless I'm in the car or I'm making a concentrated effort to just listen. Maybe while I'm cleaning up or something, I have it on in the headphones. So I it's kind of like audiobooks and podcasts. As much as I love them and I love ours, I have to set aside that time to just actually listen to that. So it's kind of hard for me because I'll tune out and start doing different stuff. But yeah, but our podcast I love, and being creative and finding different ways to kind of be creative. It got hard, like I said, just toward the burnout from the day job, the latter part, the last few months. I found it harder to be creative because I was just so mentally and physically exhausted and drained. And that that was hard for me because creativity is my outlet. Like I love it. So I'm trying to find more time, but I also took time for my mental health. So focusing on my mental health and being creative and all of that. And actually coming up in 2022, I want to write. Like I haven't done a lot of writing outside of writing stuff for the podcast, but I want to get back into writing. So it's just a matter of trying to find time. Can we add more time to the day?
No, that's the what? Oh my gosh, I listened to. Oh, sorry. Can I do a segue
Yes.
into my next thing?
Yes.
So something something else that got me through 2021 is, and I don't think I've actually ever mentioned this on the podcast, but I am like a planner. And so I have planners for like all areas of my life. I don't always stick to them, but I do have a planner for the major areas of my life. And so I watch a lot of planner videos. So another thing that got me through 2021 was YouTube. I am addicted to YouTube the same way people are addicted to TikTok, and I fully understand the addiction to TikTok. Although I still refuse to get an account. I am addicted to YouTube. Like I am constantly watching videos on YouTube. Like everybody else, when you wake up, there's people who they wake up, they grab their phone, and the first thing they go to is which website?
TikTok, Facebook. I don't know.
Facebook, right?
Oh, the
Facebook is still the
devil.
number one social media outlet.
The
But
devil.
huh?
The devil.
Yes, it is. So like, and I used to be one of those people. First wake up, automatically go into Facebook. And I've actually done a you, Eddie. I deleted Facebook off my phone. Um I have not been on it in like 2 weeks and I feel great. I don't miss it at all. But I couldn't do that for YouTube. So I wake up and the first thing I do is I grab my phone and I go on YouTube and I see like what videos have been posted. And so I watched this one woman, and her name is At Home with Kita, and she's like this big planner. Like she's made a whole business out of planning. And that's the one thing that she says we can never get back, is we can never ever get back time. And so Kita, and then the organized money, which is phenomenal. You should actually watch some of her videos if you're going to get into budgeting. But yeah, we can't get back time. So unfortunately, 24 hours is all we have, and we need to at least sleep for 8 of them. Although I never do sleep for 8.
Now
Do you sleep 8 hours a day?
now I sleep about 6. Like at night, because I've just gotten into this habit. I've actually slept in over this time off over the holidays more than I thought I would. But and I feel rested. I'm always tired. Like I'm always tired. So but I do feel more rested. So I guess I'll get 8 if I get a nap. Or me, I'll wake up, if I wake up super early, then I'll take a morning nap and then I'll take an afternoon nap. So I'm a napper.
There's morning naps and afternoon naps.
Yeah, because like, well, this see, I've been, like I said, I've been sleeping in. But normally, if I were to get up at say like 5 or 6, then I would work probably to like 9 or 10. Then I would take a nap. Then I would take a nap, sleep for about an hour, and then I get up, and then I'd probably take another nap about 2 or 3. Yeah. So,
Okay. Sounds
but
like a plan.
but yeah, and Um, at home, Akita is so right about time, and I guess that's why I'm always trying to multitask and make the most of my time. And believe it or not, I used to be that person who was always late. And Tammy can tell you, I am now the person that if you're not 10 to 15 minutes early, then you're late. And so if someone tells me that an event is going to start at a certain time, I try to get there early or exactly on time. And it's one of my pet peeves when people are late. And I used to be that person that was always late. And I had a conversation with someone, and I also saw something on a billboard on one of those church signs. And I realized that time is something you can't get back. And when you're late, you have other people waiting on you, and that is affecting their time. And so it's rude and inconsiderate to waste someone else's time. And since time is the one thing you can't get back, I hate wasting my time. I would rather lose money, which I don't have to lose, than to waste my time because it's irreplaceable. It's not infinite. And just with, things that have gone on with friends recently and people, you realize there's always a reminder of just how precious time is. So I always try to make the most of it. So, yeah, but I do wish we could add more time to the day. So, yeah, that's the one thing I'm not about is wasting my time. I try not to waste it as much as possible. So that's why that's why I'm always punctual or early. And so when Tammy tells me she's going to be someplace, I give you 15 minutes. I do. Do I not? I usually give you about 15 minutes because I know you
Before
operate
you
on.
start texting me like, where are you?
Yeah. Because I know you're on CPT time. So, and I also realize that usually I get someplace a little early or whatever. And so, but then after your 15-minute mark, I'm like, where the hell are you?
Okay, so can I just say that I was always on time. It is not since I'm like once I moved down to Texas, that is when I'm always late. Like when I was in Jersey, I was never late. Like I was the person, like you said, like I was the person who was always early. Like I always wanted to arrive 10 to 15 minutes early for anything that I had to do, anywhere I had to go. And then I was always the person waiting for everybody else to show up. And now since living in Texas, I'm late for everything. Like when I mean everything, like I am not early for nothing at all. Like I'm surprised I get to work on time, and I get to work literally when I'm supposed to clock in. Like that is how bad it's become.
Yeah. Just for traffic reasons from where I can't do that. But if I
Oh,
could,
you live so far.
yeah, if I could, I would. So I'm early. But yeah, and that was just the thing that got me to be on time. It's just after that one conversation, then I saw it. Time is the most valuable resource that we have because it's irreplaceable. It's the one thing that we can never get back. So, but yeah, I like planning. Your planner game, I do have to admit, your planner game is on point. And I try, like I have planners. I have a planner for I have a budget planner because yes, I am budgeting like the new year.
No, no,
I'm
no.
not
Seriously, write down the organized money on YouTube. She is phenomenal at helping out with that. Sorry, but go ahead.
organized money. Okay. Um, so after 2022, it's not a new year, new me, because that's bullshit. We all get it for like a week and then it's like whatever. So I just always, and I guess my goal is to just be better, like to do better. But I'm not about that whole new year, new whatever. Um, so YouTube, I I I love planners. I just don't keep up with them the way I should. I keep up with the podcast planner. I'm going to keep up with my budget planner this year because I have goals. And I have
You
a
trying to plan
personal.
that trip?
Yeah, yes, definitely. And I have a personal planner because I have other stuff that I'm trying to do outside of that. So to maximize my time, I need to plan it a little bit better, especially since I haven't met the man who's going to set me on the path to wealthiness, where I can retire from the day job and do what I really want to do, get to my real job.
If only we had met one on Sunday, I tell you.
Exactly. Exactly. Preach. He's coming though. He's coming. Um, but so that is something that got me through 20 is also planning. And I realized that when I did plan the stuff for the podcast, it went a lot easier. Like I said, once the most surprising thing happened, it's like the wheels just fell off. So that is one of my goals, is to plan better. And YouTube, you watch I love homes. I love houses. Like, we have extremely different tastes.
We do. Okay, wait. Did we not? We say this every single year. Like, our dynamic, we're so different in a lot of ways, but so similar.
Yes. Like, I'm caviar and champagne, and you're what?
Not at all. Not at all. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Although I will not eat sushi off of what is it called, conveyor belt. Okay.
um so I love, and I have a dream house. Like, I've built and designed my dream house and everything, my ranch. Like, that is one of my goals, is I want to own a ranch with horses and property and all of that kind of stuff. So I love watching home videos on YouTube. I love HGTV. Some of the shows get a little redundant and all that kind of stuff, but I love looking at, like, I subscribe to Architecture Digest. I love
Oh
design.
my God.
Are you surprised by that?
I'm not, but at the same time, it's like, it's cute, but at the same time, I'm like, wow. Like, Eddie, you're so above my level.
I watch home videos on like designer home videos, fancy homes. Um I on YouTube. I love those videos. I love taking tours of houses. Like, um and I remember, just when I was little, that was something my mom and I would do. We would just go to, aspirational goals, manifesting. I guess we would go look at homes, model homes, and walk through them and just kind of design them and be like, no, this doesn't work. The kitchen needs to be over here. This needs to be here. And so that's something that I love to do. I just love designing stuff, and I love designing homes. I love, like, if I knew if I could draw better, I like, every now and then I'll design a house just from scratch or something. And I'm like, okay, it's not quite the scale. It's not what an architect would do, but they would get the point. I could take this to them and say, look, I could take this to a real architect, and they would know what to do. So that's my YouTube. That's my YouTube porn. And then new videos, because that's where we see a lot of our K videos and K music on YouTube. So I'm always looking to see, like, and who's coming out. Like, the new Bam Bam video dropped today, and so I was excited about that. But yeah, YouTube is great. I like it better than I thought I would. Like, other people are watching. My mom's like, watch YouTube to learn how. No, I'm not watching YouTube for that. You pay
No,
to.
that YouTube is like Google with videos.
Yeah,
Like,
if you can't.
anything you want to learn or do, go to YouTube, y'all.
And if you can't find it on YouTube, then you don't need to be doing it.
You sure right. You sure right. And there's some stuff that you can find on YouTube that it's a little suspect, okay?
Shit, you can learn a couple of things on YouTube. Be like, so, like, and speaking of YouTube, that's also one of the things I kind of want to get into this year, is getting our Wind Down TV up and running properly. Again, that's a whole time thing, but so when the videos you put up there, it asks you, like, is this for a child? And some of the shit you find on YouTube, I'm like, did they not, like, how did they rate that? Like, is this supposed to be searchable for kids? But yeah. Um, what else is something that got you through this year? You got anything else?
Okay, so a person. All right. And I
Ooh.
think, yes. And
Ooh.
I mean, there's a couple, but this one person is like a very serious person. It's a political person. So, and I think she is phenomenal at her job. Absolutely phenomenal at her job. And that is going to be the press secretary for President Joe Biden, and Jen Psaki. I think when she took over, like, first of all, press secretary has been a shit show for the last 4 years. And the lies that have been told, like, there was not even no finessing on the lies. Like, you're so used to, like, them finessing the lies. Like, no, they would just blatantly lie to your face. But just how she talks, how she's always prepared to answer questions, and if not, then she has a way of throwing it back at the reporter who asked the question and telling them to get her the information so that she can be better informed, kind of thing. I love that about her. She's just such a she's a boss. I feel like she's a boss, and she's been doing a phenomenal job. And I hear that in the near future she is giving up the position, and I will be definitely be sad to see her go, because I think she has done a great job being press secretary.
You know who's going to take over when she gives it up? Corinne. I forgot her. Corinne Jean
Are you
Pierre.
serious?
Yeah, she's the
Okay,
deputy
I'm all
press
for that,
secretary.
because
She's
Corinne's a boss too.
yeah. You know what? I hate it. Like, I think we're talking about people. I really wish she would have stayed on as Kamala's chief of staff. I thought she did a great job. The person that was ultimately given that job hasn't done so well, and I think she's on her way out if she's not out already.
Is that
Um,
Simone?
I think so. Yeah, they
Yeah,
said.
I'm not a fan of Simone.
Um, but so yeah, but Corinne Jean Pierre, she's the deputy press secretary. So when Jen Psaki was ill, she had COVID. Um, she took over and she was doing so. She's next up in line, and I think she will be only the second Black press secretary ever. I
Mm-hmm.
think Bush Senior or Junior had one. I didn't really pay attention to them. So, but yeah, um, I agree. Jen Psaki is a boss. One of the people that got me through this year is also one of the people that got me through last year. A guilty, not so guilty pleasure. I just love the way she tells stories, the way she makes it make sense, even if you don't necessarily always agree. And then this past year, she had no fucks to give, especially when it was obvious that the orange clown the Mango Mussolini was on his way out. Is Rachel Maddow. Like, she is hilarious, and I just love the way she breaks it down. Like last week, um, or a couple of weeks ago, she just told this story that went back to the guy who assassinated Martin Luther King Jr. and brought it all the way back, connected him to this statue of Robert E. Lee, this homemade bootleg ass statue, finally coming down off of one of the major interstates in Tennessee, and the way she wove that story together and connected all the dots. So I love Rachel Maddow. And like I said, she's not a guilty pleasure, but she may as well be. I don't know. I watch her every night. And I'm going to hate to see, she's moving into a different direction, still with MSNBC, and she's going to be doing other things. So probably in the near future, she won't be on the air or her show as much. And I watch when other people are on here, but it's not the same as with Rachel. So I get it. I think another thing, people, I guess, my love of sports came back this year. Last year, I was kind of lukewarm on it. I didn't really watch as much as I normally do, but this year I've been in it a lot more. And my love of my sports teams has come back, especially my college football teams. Go Cougs. They won their bowl game. Now I'm just waiting to see what the Irish do against Oklahoma State on New Year's Day. So I missed my sports. It's going to be going on 2 years since we went to our last sporting event. We had tickets to go see the Cougars play a basketball game right before Rona shut it down, and it was just so bad. We were like, "Nah, we're good. We'll take the L on that," and ended up not going. So I miss seeing live sports. But I'm glad I'm glad that it's still there and I get to watch. I guess maybe the whole empty arena thing last year just didn't make it seem real. So I don't know. Although I wouldn't chance it and go to a sporting event myself, obviously. But yeah, so that's one of the things. I know your love of sports has come back as well.
I let you just bask in the love that you have for sports that I don't watch. Like the only time I watch sports is when I'm at somebody's house and it happens to be on the TV. So, and I'll get into sports, but only when somebody else is watching it. You'll never see me actually turn my TV on and watch sports on my own. Like
Not
that's
even a
just not something.
not even a Super Bowl. Like,
I don't watch the
like,
Super Bowl. I haven't watched the Super Bowl in like 10 years.
so do you go to Super Bowl parties, or you turn down the invites, or you don't get invited because people know you're not a sports fan? Like what?
That um like because I do have people who have invited me to their Super Bowl parties and I just don't go because it's not my thing. I really like it's just a choice. Like it's a choice that I made that I don't watch the Super Bowl. I don't even watch the commercials. So it's just a decision that I made a while ago and I've just stuck to it. Like I just don't. I know it's the biggest like sporting event of the year, but I'm not missing out. Like it's been 10 years and I still like I'm okay. Like I'm good. I'm good.
Hmm. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I
I mean,
thought,
I really am one of those people who when I say I am not a fan of sports, like I don't watch sports. And it's not that I don't like sports. I just it's not my thing. Like it's not I don't even have like a 5% interest in like I don't have any interest whatsoever. I can have a conversation with you about it. I can give my opinion on what I remember and what I hear my friends because for some reason all my friends are sports fans. All my friends are always sports fans, but I am just not that person. But then I'm also one of the people usually in my group that watches as many movies and TV shows as I do. So, it's just how the cookie crumbled.
hmm, okay. Well, I thought for sure. Well, because the Super Bowl, like, is rarely, like, the only time I really have a vested interest in a Super Bowl is when my team plays, or when I should say my person plays. Tom Brady, yes, he's the GOAT. Come at me. I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
Okay.
he is. He is. Give it to him.
Like, I love Tom Brady, and I know some people find that controversial. Well, bite me, whatever.
Because of his
But
personality?
just different things, I guess. I don't know. I love Tom Brady. And
Okay.
here's the thing. Yeah, I I just do. Even though he went to Michigan, and Michigan is our one of our arch rivals at Notre Dame. I don't hope that against him in his professional career. But um, so I still have old school love for the Patriots. I do. But so unless it's a team that I really like, that I usually it'll be on and I'll watch the commercials. But now that the commercials come out early, it's taken some of the love away from it a little bit. But usually the Super Bowl parties for me, um, they're about the fellowship and the fun and the food, because most of the time, you have a few people who are watching the game, and then you have people who are just not watching the game. They're there just to eat and hang out and listen to the music or whatever. So, yeah, if I'm invited to a cool one, there's some I just won't go to because I don't care to socialize with those people. And then there's some that I just don't actually feel like leaving my house because I am the ultimate homebody. But yeah, I've gotten better about being so. Well, I had gotten better about being social, until we all got locked in our houses again. But yeah. Um. So, I do you have anything else that got you through 2021?
Shopping.
This shopping, yes, way too much of. That's why we're budgeting in 2022, because
We
way
are.
too much damn shopping in 2021. I
I
like.
I did so many. Okay, so I am a brand loyalist for anyone that does not know. And Eddie's a brand loyalist for this brand as well. But I am a huge, huge brand loyalist when it comes to Apple products.
Yes.
And so this year I haven't got my new phone yet, but I did decide on which one I'm getting. I just have to go and get it. But I got a new iPad. I got an iWatch. I got the AirPods. Like I went full Apple this year. They got a lot of my money. Also Amazon. Yes, I know. Jeff Bezos is the devil. But gosh darn it, Amazon isn't like the best invention ever.
I'm just resigned that we're going to help Bezos become the first trillionaire. Fuck
We
Elon
are,
Musk.
and I'm sorry,
Um,
I'm okay with it. It may not be a popular opinion, but I'm gonna have to be okay with it because I'm not stopping. I am not
yeah,
like Amazon is just. I have spent so much money on Amazon because it's just so convenient. It's so convenient. So, definitely shopping, like clothing, shoes, pens. I'm obsessed with pens. I get it from my mother. My mother's the exact same way. Notebooks, same thing. Just everything, just everything. So shopping this year got me through 2021. Like whenever I was feeling sad, I am like a I eat or I shop. Like if I'm upset, if I'm pissed off, if I'm emotional, whatever it is two things that I do to feel better. I eat and I spend money. So that is what I did this year. I ate or I spent money, and I spent a lot of money in Apple and Amazon.
yeah, I'm with you. I don't think there's anything else that Apple has that I need to buy that I want. Um,
But I'm
although
sure you
I,
can find something.
yeah, I was gonna say, although I do need some more Beats. I need another pair of
Oh,
headphones, but they haven't come out with any that I really like lately. Like ever since they went to, like they used to always come out with different. I think Apple bought. Well, they did say Apple bought them basically for their streaming to get Apple Music to be able to compete with Spotify because Beats Music was doing that, you know. So they really haven't done a great job of keeping up with the headphones like they did before. So I don't know. I need to find if anyone has any ideas or suggestions other than Beats. I do need a new pair of headphones, but yeah, 20 and I shopped so much this year. I spent a lot of money, and I'm like, okay, so if I don't get it within, if it's a want and I don't get it within the next 3 to 4 days, oh, I'm not getting it unless it's something that I absolutely need.
mm-hmm. I
So
agree.
2022 is really about the needs because I can say honestly, I am truly blessed, and there's not much that I want for, you know. So I, except for extra time, no one can find a way to give me that. I'm back to
No.
that again. So 2022 is about the needs. What do I actually need? So I am trying to shop less because it seems like the last 2 years, I shopped so much and shopped so much from at home. I remember when the pandemic first happened, they had all these amazing sales and all this kind of stuff. So I ended up with a new TV. I got my Xbox that I still suck at, but hey, I love it. I'm still oh, and if I can come up on that PS5, that is a need. Okay, the PS5 is a need.
That
So
is not a need.
get at me. I am classifying it here and now as a need. Okay, my PS5 is a need. If I can ever find one without giving up a kidney and a lung, I'm getting that bitch. All right. I'm just letting you know right now. When you ask me what I'm doing, I say I'm playing my PS5. Don't come at me. It's already
I hear
it's already in that need category. Um, but yeah, so it yeah. That is my goal is to shop less. But also you're right. Amazon is like the Walmart of the internet.
It is, and I don't even shop in Walmart,
I don't either. Like, oh God.
but I'll shop at Amazon.
Yeah, it's got to be something to get me in a Walmart, like something like Target doesn't have it, or it's just the only place that I can go. And since most of them don't stay open 24 hours anymore, I'm like, oh, I'm good. I have Apple, because on the way to work or something, if you needed something real quick, you would just run into Walmart and get it.
Mm-hmm.
But since they don't stay open 24 hours anymore, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. If I can't get off Amazon and get it delivered, because Walmart wasn't a place that I want to go pre-pandemic. It sure is shit not a place I want to go during the pandemic.
Mm-mm. You feel dirty coming out. You feel dirty coming out.
So sorry for all you Walmart shoppers. That's just
He's speaking truth.
Okay, so really quick, what are some of the things you're looking forward to in 2022?
I'm laughing because I wrote that down and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna cut her off and, and ask her that question. My bad. Great minds. Okay, so I just have a couple of things. So one thing I'm looking forward to in 2022 is finally getting like my planner system fully in place and actually sticking to it in order to fully organize all avenues of my life. Because I really, really do need it in 2022. There's certain things, like you were saying earlier, there are certain things that I definitely want to achieve. And in order to achieve those, I do need to organize my life better. So I can be on the correct path to get where I need to be. Um, I am definitely looking forward to the popcorn wind down, more colorful commentary on the different movies and TV shows and music that we enjoy, and getting people to fall in love with them as well, or not so in love, because, there's still a couple of them that were trash. Um, I am so one TV show that I'm really, really looking forward to. They just announced the premiere date is Bridgerton season 2, coming out on March 25th. Really, really excited. I must be like one of those fans who I read the whole book series, and Anthony's story in book 2 was one of my favorite stories out of the whole entire series. So I'm really, really excited to see it on screen. Um, Also, the 355, we're supposed to be reviewing that. I want to say in like 2 weeks, right? I think three weeks. We're going to be reviewing the 355. I'm really, really excited because it's been postponed so many times. It's like No Time to Die. Like, how many times James Bond was postponed is the 355. Like, how many times was it supposed to come out, and then they kept pushing it. And then also reading. You're a big reader, Eddie. I'm still not going to actually open a book and read it, but I do want to get into actually listening to my audiobooks, because when we did that for the book Queenie, I really, really enjoyed it, listening to it going to work, from work, wherever I was driving. I would just play that, and I really enjoyed that because it helped me to get through the book faster. So I definitely want to get more into reading audiobooks or listening to audiobooks. And those are just a couple of things, as well as, like, new TV, movies, music coming out, of course, the normal stuff. But those are definitely the things that I can list off the top of my head. What about you?
Um, I'm looking forward to kind of discovering the new normal, what the boundaries are, I guess. I did some things this year. Like I have eaten out at restaurants. I'm still, not every week I'm going to a new restaurant or anything, but um, been purposeful in planning that. And so, like you said, this is it. Like, Rona's here, we're living with it. So, got to find ways around it. So, pushing those boundaries of the new normal and seeing what I feel comfortable with. As far as travel, we had that big Korea plan, but Rona keeps fucking, because
Postpone it. We're going to push that back.
yeah, because I can't afford to go to Korea and have to quarantine for 10 days, 5 days
And then enjoy our time? Absolutely not.
in a government hotel that I gotta pay for and then go pay for it. Yeah, so but looking forward to different forms of travel. I started a little bit with road trips, seeing friends here and there, so that type of thing, and may have to stick to that. Like I said, writing. I actually want to write. Um, do more, expand, like you said, with the wind down, and try to find ways for us to be more creative and grow the brand and the audience. And we're doing that. There, it's growing. It's a slow growth, but I'm proud of it. I'm proud that it's an organic, natural growth. So, and hopefully just continue to improve at that. And wealth and health. Yes, yes, yes. Claim it, manifest it. Um, I want to get to the point, honestly, within the next few years where I'm able to make
Quit your day
this,
job.
yes, quit the day job and make this my full time job. The creative aspects, because I've always wanted to do work in the entertainment field and other things that I want to do, in this. So that is actually one of the things that I am working for, looking forward to, and trying to make that happen. So just being more creative, and hopefully staying healthy, and just life, seeing what 2022 has to offer, and hopefully it won't be such a shit show. And hopefully it won't be so hard. I honestly don't understand why 2021 was so fucking hard. The burnout, I guess. I don't know. So hopefully some of that starts to edge off since we're going into what technically year 3 of this shit. Um, we'll see. But yeah, I think, and then like you said, movies, music, what some of our favorites have in store for us in 2022, discovering new movies and music, and just expanding my horizons a little bit. And I can tell you now, you mentioned audiobooks before we end this. If you have not listened to a Rachel Maddow audiobook, you are not living. I actually prefer, now her audiobooks I listen to because she's just such an intriguing storyteller. I love to hear her tell stories. So yeah, I understand why she won an Emmy for her audiobook and why she does her own audiobook. So yeah. All right. Anything else you got coming up?
No, just look forward to season 3 of the Popcorn Wind Down. And just the different changes and improvements that we make to the podcast. I feel like every 6 months we kind of reevaluate if there's anything that we want to change or we want to input. And there's always something new and improved from the podcast and the different avenues that we have out there. So yeah, so just continue to listen. We are so grateful for you listening to our podcast, and I hope everybody has a great new year and that 2022 brings you even more joy. Well, brings you some joy compared to what 2021 brought you. So that would
Yes.
just be just good fortunes to our listeners, good fortunes to Eddie as well.
Oh, thank you.
And we're just going to continue working towards our goals because that's ultimately um what life's about, is just working for it and enjoying it.
Yeah, same to you. I wish you a happy 2022. May it be more of the good deja vu and not deja vu. Um,
I see what
not
you did
just
there.
not just for you, but for our listeners as well. And may we continue to grow and be creative and find different things and spread our horizons a little bit. And yeah, just good stuff. I'm so over all the bullshit of the last 2 years. I know it's more to come, but I'm trying to not focus on that so much and focus my mental energy on the good stuff. So I want that for everyone else out there too. So, yes, and stay tuned for our very first episode of the new year, which is coming soon. The new year be here before you know it. In the meantime, be sure to like, listen, catch up on any episodes you have not heard before. Go back and check out our whole catalog. We have 2 seasons worth of greatness um, for you to catch up on at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Like, listen, follow, comment. You can also keep up to date on the latest in entertainment and pop culture news at the Popcorn Wind Down, coming to you new and improved very, very soon. That's it. That's the plug. Still 3 seasons in, waiting for my sound effects. It's gonna happen. I'm manifesting that. I'm putting that out there. One of the things
2022.
I'm looking forward in 2022, my sound effects, yay! Thank you as always, and be sure to join us next time. And until then, I'm Eddie.
And I'm Tammy. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Bye.
Year. Peace.